Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, the Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, the Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, Frank Show. It's time for the show.
And so if you've been following this channel for a while or you just hopped on, you probably have a good feeling that I really love PlayStation VR. I absolutely loved PSVR 1. I adore PSVR 2, which makes me sad to make this video, right? So hey, what's up? I'm Frank, VR channel, make a lot of fun stuff. Check it out, come through if you like. But today's topic is a bit more on, like I said, the somber side. So previously, I was the hugest PlayStation VR supporter ever. I thought PSVR 1 was the shit, but PSVR 2 does not seem like, even from launch, it's getting the same level of support, and recent news saying that PlayStation is just kind of like laying off a large portion of their workforce across the globe, shutting a VR studio, London studio, that made Blood and Truth, which in my opinion is one of the best PSVR games out there. It was a blast, and the initial even, I forgot what it was, demo disc, they had games on there, and it was phenomenal. I mean, the stuff they were doing back then was too cool, so I can't imagine what they've been up to, what they've been working on. They already also let go some Fire Sprite people, another studio that worked in VR, so I really don't think that they're like, VR sucks, we don't want to do VR, VR is not cool, but I really think that there's an issue going on behind the scenes, whether financially, whether just people-wise, whether nervous about the future, and I don't think that VR can get the sort of revenue that they're hoping for, especially this iteration of VR in this current generation. And while the news of PlayStation VR 2 being PC compatible is really cool, that's not anything that supports the ecosystem. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome for people that own the device, that if PlayStation's like, yeah, we're gonna stop making first-party games or this and that, but you can still use your device on the PC, it makes more sense. And I'd be less upset with my investment because it can still be used outside of the PlayStation. But I think the whole no emphasis on their personal ecosystem and no real information deep yet on how things are going kind of just gets me worried. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they realized they kind of lost the market in this gen without having wireless, I think the whole emphasis, honestly, like, I love great graphics, I love things running as smooth as butter, but a lot of the time with a bit lesser graphics, I can still get things running just as smooth as butter on my Quest 2 or Quest 3, and they feel great. VR at this moment in time specifically and especially is, in my opinion, a lot more about immersion and feel and kind of mechanics to a game rather than just full-on like face melting visuals. Don't get me wrong, those are awesome. And if you can combine the two, like games like Resident Evil, I think GT7 does a great job at that, Synapse does a great job of that, you know what I mean? Like, that is awesome, but I think overall the investment into that and then what they're making in returns is just not evening out. Like, I don't think it makes sense, and so I really don't think, and I hate to say it, that we're gonna see a lot of PlayStation VR 2 stuff coming in the future. I don't think that PlayStation is completely jump out of the VR race. I really think that they understand that spatial computing is huge, is growing now, and will be the future version of computing, that the way that everybody interacts with phones, computers, consoles, all those devices, it's gonna be a different world. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, it's like the people that make fun of me now are the people that were making fun of email and the internet back in the day, and that's cool. You can say, no, it's not gonna happen, but I think a lot of you know that it is. And so I don't think they're going to drop that strategy altogether, but I don't think that we're gonna see a huge emphasis in this generation. What I'm waiting for is the Sony VR Walkman moment. You know what I mean? That like perfect device that encapsulates everything. It's got a fair price. It's really what we want. It's a good size. It's good jump in, but I feel we're years away from that. And I think that they just kind of back to their sit back, watch the market moment. Now, I could be absolutely wrong, and they could have some huge strategy behind their backs that they're gonna pump out in tons of games and here and that. But the vibes, if I'm reading the room correctly, don't really feel like that. So big note is that pushing forward, you're gonna see a lot more Quest stuff on here because I love virtual reality, I love the medium, I love the technology, and I wanna chase the coolest stuff. I want to chase the newest experiences, and we're always going to be covering the latest news on PlayStation VR 2. We're going to try to cover any and everything in the VR and XR, AR space as much as I can. I mean, what interests me, I'm not just going to cover stuff that's not interesting to me. I've had people reach out for videos and content and this and that. If I don't like this stuff, we're not going to cover it here. What is the point? I'm not going to sell you on stuff that I don't like. So, wow. But yes, so pushing forward, you're gonna see a lot more Quest stuff. You're gonna see a lot more possibly PC VR stuff, maybe some cool, I'll go to some places where we can try some like immersive content, but we're gonna do more stuff like that because that's just kind of the way the world is going, and I wanna keep doing this. Especially feeling the pain of post layoffs. I know how it feels for all these studios. Like, it's scary, it's terrifying, it's nerve-wracking out there, so I want to stay, I want to support everywhere I can, I want to be and do what I'm able to do. So that was the big point of this video. I'd love to hear your feedback always. I'm loving the comments, I'm loving everybody reaching out. It truly means the world to me. Like I said, the conversation is what it's all about. I think that we're a lot of us on the same page with everything, which is really great to see a lot more folks out there that get it and understand. And it sucks to be at this point right now, but I think it's better to be honest with ourselves rather than lie to ourselves about stuff. It's a great platform. It's an amazing device. The opportunity is there, but I just think that because they're not pushing it as hard, it's very difficult for a developer to just kind of put a lot of time and effort into putting something amazing out on the device when they can just put as much time and effort into the Quest and reach a lot larger audience. It's just kind of a no-brainer. You'll probably see some passion projects here and there that are great, and there's probably still stuff that's been cooking up, and I hope those things don't get canceled with everything moving around, because you just never know. Talk to devs that have worked on things for 4 to 5 years that just went canned overnight. So there's no way of knowing out there. But yeah, once again, thank you all. You're the best. Seriously, would not be here without you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Don't forget it. Tell yourself that every single day, and friggin' subscribe. I mean, come on, nah. Smudges.